About light, we will be discussing in details. I have a lot of knowledge regarding this lecture. I will be sharing all those points which will be important from this lecture, and it will be valuable for you. Now, question is, who should not watch this lecture and who should watch this lecture? This is main question which comes first. A person who need to watch this lecture are those who are new, person who are new for this lecture. They don't know, they don't have any basic idea, any basic knowledge of this lecture. Then it is for those people. Okay, here we will be starting from a scratch till the advance. We will stop till the advance. Some points, some words I will write here, then I will explain with examples, with a definition, I will define those words with examples. Some points I will be connecting from other sector, from any sector, but whatever I am telling you will make sense. Will make sense. Another word I can say, I will not go out of context. I think we should start. In simple word, I would say we will be doing, we will be in discipline. Anything we will be doing in discipline. As you can see, one word is written over here, which is light, and name of this lecture is light. Let's start from a scratch. First word, which is object. Now here, I have question right now for you for understanding this word. How do people see object? Any object, Even as you know, this marker is object. This board is object. Here bulb is object. There are a lot of things which are surrounding me. All these are objects. But main question is, how are we able to observe all these objects? This is main question. And when you will have answered this question, then it means you have now what meaning of this discussion that I will be telling right now. Here we are understanding let's continue. We were understanding, we had a question which you needed to answer. Question was, how are you able to see any kind of object? This is what is question. Answer would be any object. Even there are a lot of markers. You can see this board in front of me. There are a lot of objects. All these objects can be seen by human, by living things. Reason behind it is that light is coming, light is falling on the surface of object. This is answer of our question. Question was what? How do people see any object? How do people observe any object? Answer is, they are able to observe any object. They can see any object because of light. There is a light which allows to us to see the object. Light will come from source, light will fall on the surface, then it will turn into another direction, then it will reach to our eyes. This is the process of seeing any kind of object. This is process. Indeed, we will break down this process, don't we? So here you understood any objects which are seen by human because of light, source light, a source light which will emit their own light. Now when it will come to source light, when source light, okay, source light, what is the meaning of this source light? It is also object. Remember, source light, it is also object, but here this object would be something else as we were understanding about this object. Okay, source light is a light. It, this type of objects will give light. For example, bulb. For example, laser light, LED, mercury, all this. Phone. This is also a light source. This mobile is also a light source. So remember, any object which can emit their own light. Remember, any object which can emit their own light will be called as source light. Will be called as source light. Remember this. That's it. Any object which is emitting their own light, we will call that object as a source light. That's it. Now, as you know, this is a marker. It is object. Name of this object is marker. We know. Can you say it is a source light? Can you say? No. All of you would not say that it is. All of you would say that it is not a source light because it does not emit their own light, because it does not have light. Now, what if I take a bulb? What if I take a bulb? A bulb emits their own light. That's why bulb will be source light, but this marker will not be source light. Clear? Any object which cannot emit their own light will not be called as a source light. With examples, I explained it. Okay. Now, so in this you will understand what? In this we will have to understand about nature light. Nature light. Clear? This one and this is second. Artificial light. Artificial light. Before we see difference between them, we need to understand all this one by one. Let's start from nature light. It is given by nature. Here we are understanding about source light. We divided this source light into two categories, into two parts. First is natural light and second is artificial light. Here remember, in simple words you can say nature, by nature, and this by whom? By whom? By these words you can understand meaning of this one. But person who didn't understand right now, still then I will explain more about it. Here, a object which can emit their light, we know already. Any object which can emit their own light will be source light. Nature light are, with examples I need to explain it. Sun, I think no more. Stars, candle. I think no, candle is an artificial light. Now here, sun is also object. A star is also object. Can you say that sun has their own light? Of course. Can you say stars have their own light? Of course, yes. Till now we are clear that this is source light. Now my question is, did we make this sun? Did women make star? No. Answer would be no. This was made by nature. By nature. Are you understanding? These source lights made by nature. That's why these types of source light will be considered as nature light. Clear? Nature light. Remember, any source light which are made by nature will come in the category of nature light. Clear? Did you understand about this? Are you crystal clear? Do I need explain it again? I think so. Let's understand about artificial light. From this word, you can easily understand meaning of artificial light. It is also source light, but this type of source light are made by human. This is what is the difference between nature light and artificial light. What I am saying? I am saying any source light which are created by human will be known as artificial light. Artificial, which means created by human. Artificial, which means made by human. We create a light source, and now we will name that light source as an artificial light. Clear? Difference between them is very simple. It is saying that I will be made by nature, and this artificial light is saying that I will be made by human. It does not depend on human, and it will depend on nature. It can depend on nature, but this nature light will not depend on human. Clear? So here we have understood what about source light as well as about this. Now further it, what do we need to understand is that here it is a dumb. Okay, I am erasing it so that we can. Okay. Now here we are understanding source light, which are object. Now extend explanation of object. Here we will see what transparent object. Next is opaque object. Next is opaque. Translucent object. That's it. We will have to understand about object. We know what is object. Now we are going to understand types of object. First is transparent. Second is opaque. It is not a series one. You can pick any random. If you want to understand about opaque first, then you can understand. Okay, it doesn't matter. So here I wrote what transparent object, opaque object, translucent object. Let's understand each of them one by one. Let's start from one. Transparent object. Remember, during this lecture, you will have to keep remember that yes, we are understanding main words which will be important. We can take any word, isn't it? We can take any word, but no, we will not do like that. We will take those words which will be important for our discussion during this lecture. As you can see, I wrote this because these are important words to understand this lecture. That's why. Here first transparent object. Now from this word you can easily say that it is already object. You can say this is a transparent object, but I know that it is not a transparent object. Transparent object. Here any object we can consider as a transparent object if that object is a transparent. What do I mean? I am taking a object and considering that object as a transparent. But what is the definition of a transparent? How can you say that this object is a transparent? How to say? This is the issue. So here, with the experiment, I would like to explain about a transparent object is that you will have to take three or four things so that you can do an experiment to understand the transparent object, opaque object, translucent object. So that ways. Okay. Uh, so first would be what? Source light. First would be source light. Let's say this is a source light, and from this source light, a ray of light is coming, is emitting. This source light is emitting a ray of light like this. Clear? Here is observer. Here can be you. You can be here. Here is a observer. Clear? Now there is a object. There is a object. This is an object, and this is a source light. It is object. We are considering this as object and this as a source light, and it is observer. Observer is also compulsory. Now let's come to the main topic that we wanted to understand from this experiment. Here you can see it is an object, this is a source light, this is an observer. That's it we wanted. Now one thing more you can add is that a screen. Otherwise without a screen I can explain it here. Try to focus. Just have a look at this picture. What is it showing to you? It is explaining when light will come from source light. Even if you are in your home, then you can see a bulb. You can see a bulb, but don't look at that bulb directly. Indirectly you can try to observe the bulb which is glowing. Now a bulb, what will bulb do? Work of bulb is to emit their own light. That is what is a work of a bulb. Here we took a source light. Work of this source light will be what? Will be glowing. This source light will emit their own light. About this we have understood. About the source light we have seen. Now a light is coming from this source light. Okay. Some lights which are coming from source lights are falling on surface of this object. Here you can see. This is not complete diagram. Till here what is happening? Some lights are coming from this source light, are falling on this surface. Now it is a turning. Now it will take a turn into different direction. Let's assume this ray is turning like this. Okay. Just observe the direction. You have to observe the direction of light which is moving. I know that here in this experiment light is not moving. Just assume that what is the direction of a moving light. Here you can see first this light came from this source light, then it strike on surface of this object, then rather than passing the object, it took a turn into different direction. It can go this direction, it can go this direction, this direction, this direction, but it will not pass, it will not cross this object. If this is happening, if this is happening, so here this object is blocking. This object is blocking what? Light. Remember, it is not giving allow. This object is not giving allow to pass this light through this. Is this happening? Yes. Our eyes cannot say lie. Okay. This is happening. What is happening? A light which is coming is falling on the surface rather than passing through the object. It is taking turn into different direction, and this is what is the meaning of a opaque object. Is the meaning of a opaque object. Now let's expand this explanation. Here, remember, if light does not pass the object, then that object is blocking the light which is coming from source light. If this is happening, then here observer, this observer will not be able to see area behind this object, because of light is not passing through this object. When this will happen, then this observer will not be able to see behind area behind this object. Now, one thing more will happen, which is important for this lecture. Here, remember, if a object is blocking this coming light, it means it will form a shadow. It means it will form a shadow. Okay, it will be forming a shadow behind this object. Shadow is formed when light is blocked by object. When light is blocked by object, then shadow is formed. Are you understanding? What are you understanding? You are understanding formation of a shadow by an object. Remember, this object is blocking, that's why it is forming shadow. This is a shadow. Okay? This is a shadow. What you are saying? One point you will have to keep remember it that if object is blocking the light, then there will be a shadow of that object which is blocking the light. Now, okay, that's it about the opaque object. Opaque object does not allow to pass the light. It blocks the light. Clear? Now let's understand transparent object. Here what will happen? Just same here. We can understand about this transparent object from this experiment. Let's see how. This is observer, this is source light, this is object. Shadow, I remove this shadow. Okay. Now, light is coming from the source side. Okay. Till here, this is the correct. We are understanding what a transparent object. We are done about the opaque object. Now, in this case, what will happen? In the case of a transparent object, what will happen? Light will be coming, then it will fall. It will fall on this surface. This light will fall. Some rays of light will fall on this object. Now, from here, definition of a transparent object will come. It will fall on this object and it will not take into another direction after striking the surface. Instead, it will be crossing the object. It will be passing through the object. like this. This will happen. There are some objects which do like this. When light comes, then light travels through this object, through a lot of objects, through a lot of objects. Now here, if this is happening with object, then you will have to consider this object as a transparent object. That's it. It's all about what is light doing? How is light passing? Is light being blocked by object? If yes, then that object is opaque object. If light is not being blocked, then that object is a transparent object. This is a theory. With experiment, you will understand like this. Light will come, will fall on the surface, then it will pass through the object. You can see direction of this. In the discussion of an opaque object, we were saying that this came here and it took into this direction. But in this discussion, what are we observing? We are observing that light of this is going through this object. This is what is happening. This is what is happening. When a light will allow to pass the light, when an object will allow to pass the light, which will be coming from source light, will be known as a transparent object. Now, in other words, you can define this a transparent object from this experiment is that a observer which is observing how is light passing is as I told you, observer will observe it. This will observe that yes, light is passing through this object. Then he will say that yes, this object is a transparent. We observe. Human observes carefully. I am saying anything by observe. What I am saying. At the same time, I observe. Am I saying wrong? Am I not making sense for this lecture? Am I not providing valuable to you? It is observed by mind. Okay, I am not going out of context. So here, in other words, how to define transparent object? This is what here. Look at here. This observer and this is object. Light will be coming. Light is falling like this. Light is falling, then it is passing through this object. This is what is happening. Now, by this observer, what he will observe? What will he observe? He will observe that he is able to see area behind this object. Now, in the case of opaque object, this observer was not able to see area behind the object, but in this case, this observer is able to see the area. And this, if you will be able to see area behind any kind of object, then that object is a transparent object. That's it. That object is a transparent object. So it is done. We are done with the two words. Now next is translucent is nothing but it is a half of transparent and half of opaque. 50% transparent and 50% opaque, but it will not happen anytime. Sometimes it can be more, it can be less. Sometimes it will be more, it will be less. Without that, there are a lot of objects which can give us a blur view. Through that object, you will not be able to see clearly. Something you can see, but not clearly. Like that, observe. You will have observed. You will have seen. a object which can give a clear view, but there are a lot of more objects which cannot give a clear view, then those objects will be considered as a translucent object. So these three are done by us. Uh, Now I think we should move towards the uh, so next is a reflection of light. Next is a reflection of light. Through this experiment, let's understand the reflection of light. A reflection of light through this. In this, a reflection is happening, but a lot of the time I would be saying that you will have to observe. There are a lot of things which cannot be seen directly. Those will be observed indirectly, to observe those happening things. In this case, in this discussion, a reflection is happening, but directly you cannot see. If you have more information, reflection of light, then you can say, yes, I am able to see the reflection of a light. But you don't have any information regarding this nature, then you cannot observe directly reflection of light in this experiment. In this experiment, reflection of light is nothing, but it tells it is a process of how do we see object. As I told you in the beginning that whatever object is in front of you, you are able to see that object because of light is coming and falling on the surface of the object, and then it is turning into another direction. Some direction of some rays are reaching to your eyes. Light is here, object is here, over here. Some light will fall on that object, then it will turn into this direction. Some light will turn into this direction. I am not saying completely it will turn into my direction. No, some lights. And some lights will reach to our eyes. Then we see, yes, this is object. And this is what is a reflection of light. Okay, details, let's understand. Let me complete this about the reflection of light. Here a light is coming. Is it happening or not? Yes, this is happening. A light is coming from source light. Of course, this will come from source light. It is coming. It is coming. And just remember, reflection of light will happen with the opaque object. The opaque object. You will have to take opaque object. Clear? Opaque object. Here you have this. Okay, we are understanding about the reflection of light. A light will be coming from source light. Okay, it will be falling on this surface. Then it will turn into another direction because of reason. Whatever we are saying, whatever I will be saying, I will be giving reasons, evidence. Okay. Behind any points, behind any discussion, there should be logic, so that our discussion can make valuable as well as our discussion can make sense. Now, here, a reflection of any object or a reflection of light will happen when there is a opaque object, and a light will be falling on this surface, on that object. As you can see, we are considering this object as opaque object, and light is falling on this. It will turn into direction, in this direction. Some lights will reach to his eyes. And here this is a ray of light, isn't it? This is a ray of light. If there are a lot of rays, there are What's the difference between ray and beam? Beam. What's the difference between? You would say, no, we don't have more information about it. We don't know. Ray is light. Beam is also light, but no. This is not like this. Ray is just a line. Ray is just a line, but beam a group of line. Beam a collection of line, ray. Okay. So here in this you will take one ray. In this you will take a lot of rays. So this is done. This is crystal clear to you. In this we have a beam. Here some rays are going in this direction after stacking this surface. Some rays this direction, this direction, this direction after stacking the object. Now a ray which is coming from source side till the stacking, till the here stacking this surface, this from here this will be considered as incidence ray. Remember, from here to till here. Now what about reflected ray? What about reflected ray? Reflected, I am saying reflected ray. Reflected ray. I am saying reflected. It is a ray. You can there is a two word. This one and this is second. Second is ray. That's why it is a ray. It is a ray. Now, where is a reflected ray in this experiment? As we know, this is incidence ray. Here, a ray, definition of a reflected ray in the context of reflection of in the context of light chapter. Here, it is a ray which comes from striking the surface. A ray which comes from striking the surface will be considered as, here you can see, a ray which is coming from the striking the object. This ray will be considered as reflected ray. This will be considered as reflected ray. Okay. In this experiment, this is enough. I am going to expand this discussion about discussion of incidence ray and reflected ray because it will be next words to this lecture. That's it. So here I am able to erase these words. We are understanding about the reflection of light. Reflection of light. From this reflection of light, you can also observe reflection of an object apart from light. Okay. Let's take a object. This is object. Just assume that this is an object. Now, this object, which type of object? Answer would be opaque object. Answer would be opaque object. Okay? Answer would be opaque object. Clear. Now, there should be a source light. There should be a source light. It will be coming from source light. Then it will strike the surface and will take turn into different direction. As we saw in previous experiment, discussion of explanation of reflected ray as well as about incidence ray. Incidence ray is just a ray which comes from source light till the strike the surface. This ray is what incidence ray. This ray is incidence ray, and this will be what, reflected. Here we take a line, a normal line, which will be perpendicular. We take it because of we will be calculating angle of incidence, angle of reflection, uh, angle of incidence, angle of reflection. This is what we calculate. That's why we take a normal line, so that this can make a linear pair or a straight line. It is already a straight line. Okay, now this is perpendicular. It is a perpendicular. We are imagining that it is a line, just for calculation. Now, from this, a lot of our students get confused. From this, Kishan would say something else, and a student will understand something else. I will tell you those confusions in this explanation. Here, this is incidence ray. Let me write. This is incident ray. Okay, this is incident ray, and this is what, reflected ray. Okay, already now. Kishan would say, what is the angle? What is the angle of the incidence ray? Then you will have to take from here to till here, because Kishan will be asking that what is the angle from the incidence ray till the normal line. So then so this is incidence ray and till the normal line, from here to till here. So between this what is the angle? This is what Kishan is asking. So if you now this angle, let's say this angle is making of 47. Okay, 47 degree. Now here Kishan can be what? Kishan can be what is the angle from this surface of the object till the incidence ray. Then what will you say? Would you say that 47 degree? No, this will be incorrect. This is where a lot of our students get confused. But I am here. From the surface, you will have to start from the surface of the object. Already now this is not a surface. This is not object. This source light is object. Now from this surface till the incidence ray, what is this angle? What is this angle? This is what now Kishan is asking. You will have to read carefully the statement. What is the statement saying? You will have to read carefully. Now, if this is making angle of 47, so how much angle will be forming here? How much angle? Of course, it is a perpendicular which is known as 90 degree. This side is 90 and this side is 90. Now if this is making 47, as you know, it will be what, 90 minus 47 will give you 3 I think 43. It is happening. This is what is happening. 43. If you are not believing me, then here you can check this answer. If you add this and this, then you will get 90 degree. If you are getting 90 degree by adding this angle, then it is a correct. This answer is a correct, because this side is making 90 degree angle. That's why this side is also 90 degree angle. Now let's come to the laws of reflection. This was about reflection of light. We saw what is the reflection of light. Laws of reflection. Laws of reflection. two laws of reflection we will see. First is what? Angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. This is the first law of reflection. First law of reflection. Now let's visualize it in our vision. Okay. Here, first law is saying. First law is saying this angle, whatever this angle will be making, will be equal to this angle. I am not saying this angle. If this is making 47, then this will be also making 47. If this is making 47, then this angle will be making also 47. Okay, 47. This is the first law of reflection of a light. We cannot change it. We cannot change it because of it is a law. It is not a twice. Okay. Rules. Do you know what is a rule? If you don't follow rules, then what will happen? You will be punished. But in this case, when you will not follow these rules, then you will get wrong also. You will not be able to do a lot of calculation confidently. Either you can get wrong answer, or you will lose your confidence. Here, as you know, our subject is physics, and it explains what is a nature, what is happening is in a nature. This is what this subject explains, and some rules already are written in our textbook, and this was written by doing a lot of experiments by leaders, by scientists. So here, first law is what? Angle of incidence. First law is what? Angle of incidence. Angle of incidence. Incidence will be equal to the angle of reflection. Angle of reflection. Clear? What is the meaning of this statement? This angle should be equal to this angle. Now let's move towards the next law of reflection. Second law. What is it? It says that you are taking a incidence ray, a reflected ray, as well as you imagine a normal line. Then second law came. It says that okay, all this will be on a plane surface, on a plane object. Surface can be rough, surface can be smooth. But here remember, this would be plane. Do you know what is a plane? What is a curve? What is a plane? We are not taking a circular shape object. No. Just a rectangle. So second law says that this incidence ray, this normal line, and this reflected ray will lie on a plane surface. On a plane surface. Okay, this is the. Now let's move towards the next discussion. I think what should we explain now? After this discussion, yes, mirror, and what is a process of formation of image by mirror, by plane mirror. Let's start from a plane mirror. And it was important to understand a mirror when we will in the discussion of plane mirror, concave mirror, convex mirror, then this will come. When you will have this information, then you will be able to visualize in the discussion of concave, convex and convex mirror. So I am going to erase it so that we can understand next concept. One thing I think I should add what about the shadow. We saw how does how is a shadow formed by a bulk object. We know this. One more point I wanted to add, but I forgot. Is that size of the shadow of object will depend on what is the distance between object and source light. This distance, place of this distance and angle between these two objects will depend. It will matter. Okay. So what will be size of shadow? It will depend on what is the distance and rotation between two objects. First object which should be what opaque object, and second should be what light source light. Okay, source light. Source light. So this was about how will a shadow change its size. This was about size of a shadow. What about the shape of a shadow? Would I say it will also depend on something? I think when it comes to shape of shadows, then I would say sometimes you will realize that shadow of the original object is not the same. Outline of a shadow will not as it as original object has. What I'm saying? I'm saying sometimes you feel that sometimes you will observe shadow. This shadow is of a animal, but reality would be something else. You go near to that shadow, then you will observe, oh, this shadow is of this box. This is a circular ball. You will be shocked. Again, I am saying it is a nature. We cannot say that a shadow of the original will provide a exact outline as a shadow has. No, it will. It sometimes it cannot happen. Sometimes it will not happen. So this is done about the shadow. Now let's come mirror. Let's come mirror. Here there is a mirror. Now first question from here is how do you, why do you, not how, why do you observe your self image inside a mirror, and how, what is the process of seeing our self image inside a mirror? What is the process? And that process we have explained, we have seen, but again here we will repeat that process. Okay, remember, not remember, you see your image inside a mirror because of light. Yes, I know I am repeating again, but what can I do? It will happen when you will be in front of mirror. Then what will happen? If switch is off of light, then you will not be able to see your image inside mirror because of switch of light is off. But in the other case, switch of the light is on. Now what will happen? You will be able to see your image inside the mirror. Can you say from this that yes, present of light is a compulsory? You would say yes, present of light is a compulsory. When there is no light in your room, then everything will look dark. So first thing which is a compulsory to see any object inside the mirror is that source light. Is that source light? Source light can be natural light, can be artificial light. Okay. So now, in front of this mirror, there is a object. Let's say there is a woman. We can replace this object, this woman. We can put here what any kind of object rather than putting this woman in front of mirror. Remember, this is a plane mirror, and we are going to see what kind of images will be formed by this plane mirror. This is what we are going to observe in this experiment. Let's see. Source light. Let's assume there is a source light, which is 14. Light will come from this source light. It will hit this object. Now my question was, is this object transparent or opaque? If this is a transparent object, then tell me how. If this is not a transparent object, if it is a opaque object, then tell me reason. Okay. I am considering that yes, you know. I am assuming that yes, you know. This is opaque object because behind this mirror you will see what painted area. Now there is a painted area behind mirror, then it means mirror is opaque object. If there is no painted area behind mirror, then that mirror will be transparent object. Painted area will not allow to pass the light which will be coming from source light. That's why we are considering this type of object as a opaque object. Now when it will come to when it comes to opaque object, then what happens? This object blocks the light. This is what happens, isn't it? This is what happens. When there is opaque object, then that opaque object blocks the light, which means light will be coming, will be striking the surface, then it will be turning into different direction, but it will not be passing through the object. This is what meaning of blocking the light by the opaque object. So it can go in this direction, but not in this direction because of it is opaque object. Do you know what do we have? We have plane mirror. And this is a process we see our image inside the plane mirror. This is a process. When light will come, then it will go this direction. Some lights will reach to our eyes. It will imagine that yes, there is an object. Then this plane mirror will form our image inside this mirror. Clear? Okay. Till here it is clear. What else? Now about erect. Erect virtual laterally laterally inverted. Erect virtual laterally inverted. What else? Size of the object. Size of the object. What else? Shape of the object. Shape of the object. These are about how will a plane mirror form image. Now we know that there is happening, which is reflection of light. It is going to form this kind of image. First, this will be erect. This object inside this mirror will be erect. Now, question is, what is the meaning of erect? It is a new word. It is a new word. Erect is a new word for a lot of you. For you, it is nothing but as it. There would be nothing changes of this original inside this. This is the meaning of erect. As it. Image inside the mirror will be as it as an object. Virtual. This is something else. Virtual, which means it is just imaginary. This mirror will imagine that yes, there is an object which I am going to form inside me. Who will form this plane mirror? It will imagine. That's why we say anything which is appearing inside the plane mirror will be virtual, will be called as virtual, will be considered as a virtual image. About it is also said that a image which is virtual is not obtained on a screen because of it is virtual. It is virtual. In other words, we can say it is not a real image. Real image is represented on real image can be represented on a screen, but this type of virtual image cannot be obtained on a screen. This is what is the difference between virtual and the real. Okay, virtual and real. Now, these two are done. Next is laterally inverted. This is also something else. I am fan of this word, laterally inverted. Yes, I remember what. This is my hand. This is the right hand, and this is left hand. In front of me, there is a plane mirror. You are going to visualize with this example. In front of mirror, there is a plane mirror. In front of me, there is a plane mirror, and I am going to raise this hand like this. Now what will happen? This hand inside the mirror will appear in the left side. In the left side. Did you hear? What did I say? What I said, did you hear carefully? I will be raising this right hand will be appearing inside the mirror in the left side. This is what is the meaning of laterally inverted. And same will happen with this. This will be in left side, but inside the mirror it will appear in the right side. What are you observing? You are observing that right part of the object is appearing in left side, and the left part of the object will be appearing in right side is the meaning of laterally inverted. Now it is also done. What about size of the object? Here we have plane mirror. When you will take concave convex mirror, then you will not get exact size of, you will not get exact size of image as object. Here we have plane mirror. In this plane mirror, size would be same. Let's say size of object is a 3 inch. Size of object is a 3 centimeter. Here we have plane mirror, so size of the image inside the plane mirror would be same 3 centimeter. 3 centimeter. Reason is that it is a plane mirror. We have plane mirror. This is reason. Not inward, not outward. In the case of inward, outward, size would be something else. Size of images will be something else. But in this, if you have a plane mirror, you are doing a experiment with a plane mirror to know what images will be formed by this plane mirror. Then of course, in the size of the object will be as it, size of the image will be as it as object. There is nothing change in the size of the object. If this is 5 centimeter, then inside this would be 5 centimeter. Now it is also done. Next is what? Shape of the object. You can say outline of the object, but rather than saying outline of the object, it would be better to say shape of the object. Shape of the object. Remember, whatever shape of object is will be as it. Will be as it. If, okay, let's visualize it. If the size of the object is a rectangle, a square, okay, a square shape, then you will not observe that size of this square shape is circle in the inside the mirror. No, this will not happen with the plane mirror. The plane mirror. But when you will move towards the concave discussion, convex explanation, then you can realize what you are putting a square box in front of a convex mirror. Then size, it can be hologram, it can be circle, it can be spherical. But in this this will not happen. In this plane mirror will give you the exact shape of the object. If shape of object is a square, then inside the mirror shape of the image will be a square. Reason is that it is a plane. That's all. This is also done. This is also done. Should we understand ahead more? I think no, it is enough for now. Just have a look